What would you sacrifice for love? Your life, your very soul. In the mystical world of Indian Hindu mythology, the love between Shiva and Sati was powerful, eternal, and beyond human comprehension. But destiny is rarely kind. Sati's father, Daksha, in his arrogance, insulted Shiva at a grand sacrificial ceremony, shaming him before the gods. Sati, overwhelmed with grief and fury at the dishonor cast upon her beloved, could not bear it. In a heart-wrenching act of devotion, she sacrificed herself, plunging into the sacred fire. Her death left Shiva shattered, his pain shaking the very foundations of the cosmos. But this was far from the end of Sati's tale. Her love was too strong, her presence too significant to be extinguished by mere death. The divine forces of the universe had already set a new path in motion. Through the mysteries of reincarnation, Sati would return, not as herself, but as Parvati, the daughter of the mountains. This new incarnation would become the embodiment of love, strength, and devotion, destined to reunite with Shiva and restore balance to the cosmos. The wheels of fate were turning, and their reunion would echo through the ages, weaving an eternal thread of love and rebirth. Sati's death was a cosmic rupture that shook the heavens and shattered Shiva's very soul. Consumed by grief and fury, Shiva retreated into deep meditation on the slopes of Mount Kailash, abandoning the world to its fate. Without his presence, the delicate balance between creation and destruction began to crumble. The gods grew anxious as the fabric of the universe started to unravel, and they realized they needed Shiva's return to restore harmony. But how could they break through his impenetrable sorrow? Little did they know, the answer was already unfolding in the most mysterious way. Far from the divine chaos in the tranquil Himalayas, Sati's spirit stirred once more. The wheel of reincarnation had turned, and she was reborn as Parvati, daughter of the mountain king Himavat. Yet, Parvati was not just Sati reborn. She was a new force of nature with fierce devotion and unwavering determination. She was destined to reunite with Shiva and restore the balance of the cosmos. What had begun as a tragedy would now set the stage for one of the most powerful reunions in mythology, as Parvati's journey toward reclaiming Shiva's heart began. Parvati, the daughter of the mountain king Himavat and Queen Mena, grew up with no knowledge of her divine past as Sati, Shiva's beloved consort. Yet, deep within her, an unexplainable connection to Lord Shiva began to stir as she blossomed into a young woman. Despite never having met him in this life, Parvati felt an irresistible pull toward the powerful yet solitary god. Shiva's fierce reputation didn't deter her. If anything, it fueled her resolve. Her heart was filled with unwavering love and devotion, driving her to seek him out, determined to reclaim what had been lost. But when she approached him, Shiva, still consumed by grief over Sati's death, paid her no heed. He had retreated deep into his sorrow, closing himself off from the world. Parvati's love, however, was not so easily swayed. Undeterred by his indifference, she embarked on a path of intense meditation and penance, hoping to rekindle the forgotten connection between them. Through her spiritual journey, Parvati sought to awaken the deep memories of their past love in Shiva's mind, even if it meant enduring great hardships. She was determined to bring back the love that transcended lifetimes, no matter the cost. For years, Parvati endured severe penance, her body sustained only by air and leaves as she meditated in the harshest of conditions. Her devotion was absolute and her love unwavering. The gods watched in awe, recognizing not just the depth of her sacrifice, but the cosmic significance of her actions. They knew that Parvati's love was destined to restore balance to the universe, to reignite the flame that had once burned between Shiva and Sati. As Parvati's spiritual strength grew, the impossible happened. Shiva, still lost in the sorrow of Sati's death, felt his heart stir. It was the first flicker of life he had felt since her passing. But this wasn't just about love. It was about a bond that transcended lifetimes, a connection that reached beyond the grave. Parvati's devotion was so powerful that it began to bridge the gap between their worlds, drawing Shiva back from his isolation. Yet, their reunion was not immediate. The gods themselves are not immune to the tests of fate. Before Parvati and Shiva could truly be reunited, they would have to face the trials that the universe demanded of them. Parvati's journey was far from over, and the love she had fought so hard for would still need to prove its strength in the face of destiny's greatest challenges. Though Shiva's memories of Sati had begun to stir, his heart still bore the wounds of her loss. He was not yet ready to embrace Parvati, the woman who reminded him so much of the past. To test the depth of her devotion, Shiva took on the guise of a wandering ascetic. Approaching Parvati in this humble form, he questioned her love for Shiva. He painted a bleak picture, speaking of Shiva's untamable temper, his complete renunciation of the world, and his harsh ascetic lifestyle. Surely, he reasoned, no woman could love such a god. But Parvati remained calm, her resolve unshaken. Her love, she said, was not bound by worldly traits or appearances. It reached beyond time, beyond death, and beyond the physical. It was a love that had existed in her soul for lifetimes, and no hardship could diminish it. Her words echoed with such purity and truth that Shiva could no longer hide. In that moment, he shed his disguise and revealed his true divine form. Overcome with emotion, Shiva finally recognized Parvati as the reincarnation of Sati, his eternal companion. The gods themselves rejoiced, for this reunion of cosmic love restored balance to the universe. The cycle had come full circle, and once again love had conquered time, death, and all obstacles. At last, Shiva and Parvati stood united, not just as lovers but as forces that shaped the cosmos itself. Their reunion was more than a mere coming together. It was a moment when the universe seemed to exhale, finding balance in their union. Shiva, the fierce god of destruction, and Parvati, the nurturing goddess of fertility and love, embodied the perfect harmony between opposing forces. Together, they became the living symbol of the eternal cycle of existence. Life, death, and rebirth, endlessly intertwined. Their love wasn't just for each other, but for the world they helped sustain. With their divine marriage, the universe regained its equilibrium. Parvati brought Shiva back from his isolation, and in return, their union gave rise to new life. Their sons, Kartikeya and Ganesha, were born from this cosmic balance, each destined for greatness. Kartikeya, the god of war, and Ganesha, the remover of obstacles, would ensure the protection and continuation of the divine order. As Shiva and Parvati took their rightful places, the heavens watched in quiet reverence, for their love was not just a force of nature. It was the very essence that kept the universe alive and thriving. Their story, forever entwined with the fabric of creation, would be told for centuries to come. As Parvati ascended to her rightful place beside Shiva, her transformation was nothing short of extraordinary. No longer just the daughter of Himavat, she had become Shakti, the embodiment of divine feminine power, strength, and unwavering devotion. Her presence was more than a symbol of love. It was the very force that breathed life into the universe. Her union with Shiva restored balance, fueling creation itself and ensuring that the cosmos would continue to thrive. Parvati was no longer merely the reincarnation of Sati. She had emerged as a goddess of unparalleled strength, nurturing, and resilience. Her rebirth was not just a return, but a profound evolution, a testament to the power of devotion that transcends life and death. Parvati's legacy reached far beyond her role as Shiva's consort. She became a protector, a nurturer, and a force that inspired both gods and mortals alike. The cosmic balance, once shattered by grief and loss, was now whole again. Together, Shiva and Parvati stood as a divine union, their love and power resonating across the heavens, ensuring that the world would continue to flourish under their watchful eyes. The tale of Satis Rebirth as Parvati weaves together the threads of love, loss, and renewal, creating a story that transcends the ordinary. It is more than a myth of devotion. It is a journey through the cycles of life, death, and rebirth that lie at the heart of Hindu mythology. Sati's ultimate sacrifice in the name of love set the stage for her rebirth as Parvati, a goddess who would embody both strength and grace. Parvati's unwavering penance to reunite with Shiva speaks to the depth of love that cannot be diminished by time or separation. Their love, born out of the ashes of tragedy, grew stronger with each challenge, each test. Sati and Parvati are two sides of the same coin, the burning passion that led to Sati's death and the patient resolve that defined Parvati's rebirth. Together, they symbolize the eternal bond that weaves through the cosmos, a connection that neither death nor time can sever. Their story, filled with mystery, power, and devotion, continues to resonate through the ages, a reminder that love, in its truest form, endures. As long as Shiva and Parvati stand united, their tale will be passed down, echoing the mysterious forces that shape not just their world, but the universe itself.